Hey everyone, welcome to Pink Tutu Tarot. So the reading today, we are looking at your relationship or your love life and seeing what shift or what change is on the way. So this is for those of you in a relationship, but you could also be single, not in a relationship as well. It could be your love life in general. All right, so group one, your card is number 31 and it's Y. I'll hold that there for a sec so you can get a good look. Pause it if you need to take a better look. Group two, your card is number 44, Thinker. And group three, your card is number 11, By the Book. By the Book. All right, all you have to do now is go down into the description box, click on the timestamp for the group, the reading you want to watch, and it will take you straight there. All right, thanks y'all. Hey, group one. All right, so today we're taking a look at what shift or what change is coming up in your relationship or your love life. Your initial card here is Y. We're going to get some more cards down before we look into what that card means for you. Start with some Lenormand cards. First card is Child. And then we have Fox. And your tarot cards. Page of Cups reversed. Ten of Pentacles reversed. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And one more, please, as an advice card. And your advice is the Magician. Okay. Give me just a second. I just like to take the cards in and listen for any initial messages for you from Spirit, and then we'll talk about what's going on here. Before I do want to mention that if you would like a personal reading, one that's just about you and your situation, not a general reading as this is, you can check my website, pinktututarot.com, and see what's available there. There's also a link down below. Also, I have a free email newsletter that you can subscribe to. It has exclusive content, information, tips, offers. It will change every time, but you can subscribe to that for free on my website as well. All right. In the meantime, let's focus on this reading for you. So give me just a second while I listen to some initial messages for you. The first thing they're telling me is that you're going through a time where you are questioning your worth as it relates to relationships in general. You're feeling, what they're giving me is you're feeling less than. You're feeling less than. You're not feeling up to par. You're not feeling quite like yourself. You're feeling as if you're not worthy of a proper relationship. And I do feel that for those of you, if this is your reading, that either you have been without a relationship for a while, or you've just gotten out of one and it has knocked you back a bit. It has you questioning what's wrong with you. And I want you to know there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You're going through a phase of transition. They just said transmutation. I'm not sure I know exactly what that word means, but transmutation. You're changing. You are changing in a significant way. And the precursor to change is often discomfort. It's often disappointment. It's often feeling like something is not right in your life. Unfortunately, it's like you're putting like a sense of blame on yourself, but you've done nothing wrong. Even if you've made mistakes, you're in a relationship, maybe you made some mistakes that led to um, the dissolution of that relationship, but you learned something from it. And that's the message, really, is that you learned something from it and that is changing you. But also, many of you, you haven't done anything wrong. You're just becoming who you are, the next phase of you. And that requires some different people to be around you. But first, it requires you to spend some time alone with you, so you can get to know this version of yourself before you sort of become attached to the next person in your life. Okay. So your initial card, why? I feel like this question is coming from you. Why? What's wrong with me? Why can't I seem to get it right? Why can't I be in a proper relationship? Why did they leave? Um, you know, whatever questions may be bubbling up to the surface for you, they're saying, Spirit's saying, why is not the question you should be asking? Because it's too big of a question. Because the truth is, the why has more to do with who you are becoming than to who you were or what you've done. What you should be asking is, what can I learn from this? What did I learn from this? Where am I heading and who am I becoming? Interesting. Okay. So your Lenormand cards, you have the child and then you have the fox. The child represents a newness. You are emerging, and just like all children, there's a lot of wondering why. There's a lot of wanting answers, wanting to understand the world that you're in. And even though you're not a child, you're going through a transition right now that feels very elementary, in that you're having to relearn something. You're having to relearn something. And it's all very new. So give this a chance to develop. Give it a chance to mature. This feeling that you're going through, this transition you're going through, because your follow-up card here is the fox, which is very observant, very astute, possibly a bit skeptical, right? Because you've been tricked before, or you've been wounded before, you've been hurt before, you've been let down in the past. It's okay to be a little bit skeptical. It's okay to step back and want to assess a situation before you jump in. But rather than be overly skeptical, the fox card here is advising you to watch and wait, because the answers are coming. The answers are coming. It starts by asking the right questions again. But you are going to see, if you give it some time, if you can wait and allow and watch, you're going to see how you are changing, your world around you is changing, your love life is changing, and the type of person you attract is changing as well. Okay. So your first tarot card is the Page of Cups reversed. This is a disappointment. This is someone letting you down, or you feeling like you've let yourself down, like you're not good enough, or Again, somebody may have you maybe have been in a relationship where they just maybe disappeared, ghosted you. They may have cheated on you. They may have hurt you in some way. They may just not have loved you the way you wanted to be loved. All of those things hurt. But rather than letting it damage you, try to recognize how it can also empower you in a way. And I'm not recommending any of those situations to anybody, but if you were in that situation and you are now recovering from a situation where somebody hurt you in some way, rather than allow it to make you bitter or to make you feel disempowered, learn from it. Learn from it. Because that's what this time is all about. Take the blame off of you. There should be no blame. All right, so we have the 10 of Pentacles here in reverse. And it's telling me that right now you are a little bit out of your comfort zone. It feels very squiggly. That's a weird word, but that's what it feels like. It feels very squiggly. It feels very itchy. Like something is changing, but you're not sure what. You're not sure how. You're not sure what to expect. You're not sure what to do. It's okay to do nothing right now. Just watch, wait, allow, assess, be observant with your own self as well as others. Right, so then we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. I just want to hear what Spirit wants to say about this card. Bear with me one sec. They're telling me that this feeling of empowerment, this feeling of poise and strength and self-reliance starts from the inside. It's an inside job, I just said. It's an internal process. You will, when this process is over, you will feel more like the Queen of Pentacles. You will feel independent, not to mean independent as in you're not in a relationship, because I do feel that this group will end up in another relationship once you have healed and once you have grown and transitioned from this. But it's a sense of independence where you don't need someone else because they don't complete you, they just complement you. You will feel this sense of poise and self-possession and self-confidence. It's got to start on the inside, and you're going to start loving yourself, and you're going to start appreciating yourself, and you're going to start changing into someone who recognizes their own worth and doesn't settle for less. I feel like the relationship, for those of you who have come out of a painful relationship, it may have started out where you were, but you have evolved away from that relationship. And that's really why it ended. Because it was no longer a match. You weren't on an even level any longer. And this is nothing against your person. We all evolve and move at different speeds and in different directions. So try not to grieve too much over what was lost, and recognize how this is helping you evolve to the next level of you. So your advice card from Spirit is the Magician. They're telling me it's all in your hands. It's all in your hands. No one else can make you happy. No one else can fulfill your life or fill your life or complete you. It's all in your hands. That doesn't mean that you won't be with someone else. Again, I do feel strongly that this group will find an appropriate partner at the end of this phase. But in the meantime, focus your energy on who you want to become rather than who you want to meet. Because when you become the truest version of yourself and you're unashamed by that, you are clear about it, your person will find you. All right, group one. That's what I have for you. I hope that helps. I hope it gives you the guidance and the support that you need. Thank you for being here and have a great day, y'all. Group two. So today we're looking at what change or shift is coming in your love life or with your relationship. So your initial card here is number 44. It's the Thinker. Get some more cards out. I'm starting with Lenormand cards and then tarot. Your first card is Bouquet. And then you have Clover. And let's get your tarot cards down. First card is the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. The Star. King of Wands. And one more as an advice card for you. And your advice card is the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, I'm just going to take these cards in and listen for some initial messages for you. Before I do, I just like to mention that if you would like a personal reading, something that's just about you and your relationship, not a general reading as this is, you can check my website, pink22tarot.com, and see what's available there. There's also a link down in the description box. Otherwise, I hope this reading helps you. I hope it resonates. If it does, please give it a thumbs up. Drop me a comment down below. Subscribe, whatever you feel called to do. It helps me know that our energies are connecting and that this reading was worthwhile. So thank you for that. All right, now give me just a sec while I listen for some messages. Right, the first thing they're telling me is that you are wondering what your person is thinking about. They're not being very forthcoming right now. It's almost like there's something they're not telling you, but it doesn't feel like it's a bad thing. And we'll find out more as we get into the cards. But you're still wondering what's going on in their head. What's going on in their head? I don't feel like you think it's something negative. I'm going to say that's probably for most of you. I feel like there might be one or two of you out there that are wondering if something is wrong. Or it might be a very small part of you that is wondering if something is wrong. I feel like most of you know that things are okay, but you feel like there's something your person's not telling you and you're wondering what it is. If it has anything to do with you, or if they're just worried about something else, if they want more from your relationship or not. There is this feeling of a bit of feeling of wondering where things are headed, if anywhere. There feels like there's some, what's the word, y'all? Some questioning happening here. And it feels like questioning about what's next in your relationship and where your person stands. Really, what's going on in their head? What are they thinking? How do they feel about your relationship? And what do they want in the bigger picture, if anything? Okay. So hopefully that resonates with you. If it does, this reading is for you. If not, try one of the other ones. Yeah. Okay. So your initial card, the Thinker. You recognize that there's something going on in the head of your person. You just don't know what it is exactly. And they're telling me now your person may be very quiet right now. They may feel less engaged with you or just in general. They're not talking like they usually do. And it doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad thing. Because again, I feel like a lot of you you're not worried, you're wondering. Some of you may be worried, but I feel like most of you are not worried, you're wondering. And your person is doing a lot of thinking. They are questioning some things. I don't feel like they're questioning your relationship. But like you, they may be questioning what lies ahead. What is the end result for us? Where do we go next? Where do we go from here? Is what I'm hearing. Where do we go from here? And how do we get there? Okay. So, your Lenormand cards, you have the Bouquet and the Clover. These are great cards for love. So, you definitely have nothing to worry about if you are at all worried. But I understand that you have questions that you want answered, which makes sense, as does your person. So, your initial card here, the Bouquet, it talks to me of happiness, it talks to me of love. But I'm also hearing it's about gathering resources, whatever the resources may be for your person, whether it's just their thoughts, gathering their thoughts and putting them together. But it also may be material resources. I feel some of them are talking to friends, family members, getting advice, getting input about not about your relationship, but about what to do to get to where they want to go in your relationship, or what to do in some aspect. They may be questioning others, they're definitely questioning themselves. They're putting a lot of pressure on themselves to find an answer. And I don't want to say it's weighing heavily on them, but it is having a heavy reaction. In other words, it's causing them to shut down a little bit verbally. They're not talking as much. But it's not from a lack of happiness. The bouquet is a gift, it's happiness, it's joy. But they're gathering this bouquet one stem at a time, trying to create something even more beautiful than the sum of its parts. The clover is bringing in a moment of serendipity, a gift of luck, a gift of good timing, a gift that brings happiness. So there is going to be some kind of a breakthrough here with you and your person, where either it comes together and they figure it out, they find the answer within themselves, or someone gives them a bit of advice that, yeah, that's it. There is a moment here of serendipity, of good luck, of positive advancement. That's what I just heard, positive advancement within your relationship. So you do have good things to look forward to. Even if now you feel a little bit out of sorts by not knowing what is going on in their head. Okay. So your initial card here, the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Just listen. I just want to hear what they want to say here. What they just said to me, it's like plucking a seed out of the ground and looking at it, rather than leaving it in the ground to grow, to germinate and grow. And this is what I'm getting from you and your person, they just said as well. It's plucking a situation out of the ground and looking at it, which is not very productive for a plant that you want to grow. They're giving the advice of let it stay where it is. Allow it to germinate. Allow it to burst out of the ground and grow, much like this clover card, you know, the plant, the leaves that are coming up out of the ground. If you allow it to take its time and do what it does best, right? Talking about the seed here, without rushing it, it will create something beautiful. If you pluck the seed out of the ground, in other words, if you try to force this relationship to do or be something before it's ready, or try to force answers, or try to force a solution, it could damage the seed. It could delay its growth. It could prevent it from becoming everything it's meant to become. Yeah. So leave it be. It really is the big answer here. I know you want to probably question your person, ask them what's going on, kind of dig in and find it. Let it go for now. Let it go for now. And the questions you may be having about where our relationship goes next, let it rest. Let it rest. Because your next card here is the Star card. This is advancement. This is a positive result, just like the Clover card. This is hope. This is, gifts connecting from the universe and coming down to you and to your partner. This is a happy happenstance, they just said. Happy happenstance. Something that looks like a coincidence, looks like it just came out of the blue, but it didn't, of course. It was meant to happen. But you do have to give it time and space to get to this point. So just try to allow. And because your final card here is the King of Wands. And this is action. This is your person, regardless of gender, taking action, positive forward action, taking, in some sense, control, but not in a controlling way. But they're taking control of the situation because they've found the answer. They know what they want to do, and they do it. They are coming to that conclusion. It is moving in that direction. What I'm getting from Spirit is don't interrupt the process. Allow it to germinate in them. If you're wondering, and I'm getting for some of you, if you're wondering, does my person want to marry me? Do they want to go to the next level and move in? Whatever it may be for you. Now is not the time to ask them. I mean, if you're having these conversations, of course, I'm not saying don't communicate with your person, but you don't want to push them in a direction they're not quite ready to land on yet. I do see it going in that direction, absolutely. But let it happen in its own time. Let it happen in their time. Give them time to sort things out within themselves. So the advice card here is the Two of Pentacles reversed. Okay, they're telling me just let it be. You've got these pentacles, right? And you're juggling them. You're trying to find answers. You're, trying to balance between knowing and not knowing, and put them down. They're saying, just put the pentacles down. Leave them in the ground where they belong so they can germinate and grow. In other words, back off. That's what they just said to me. Back off your person. If you've been wanting to kind of nudge them, encourage them to give you an answer, encourage them to move in the direction you want. It doesn't mean that you never can. It just means that right now, you need to give them some space to find the answer themselves. And they will. They absolutely will. And it will be a positive answer. It will be in some way what you want. It will be for the highest good of you both, but not if you try to force it. Okay? Not if you try to push it too far too soon. So just let it be for now. The shift is coming, right? This change is coming. Your person is finding the answers they need. and it's, you know, quickly moves from the Ace of Pentacles reversed to the Star card, to the King of Wands. You know, that energy is shifting and changing. The advice from Spirit is allow it. Don't force it. Okay? All right, group 2, I hope that helps. I hope it gives you what you needed. And thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate you. Have a great day, y'all. Bye-bye. Hey, group 3. All right, so today we're going to take a look at what is shifting or changing in your love life or in your relationship. So your initial card here is By the Book. I'll leave that there while I get your other cards down. Starting with some Lenormand cards, and then we'll drop some tarot as well. Your first card is the Tower. Keep in mind that the Tower in Lenormand is very, very different than the Tower in tarot. So don't let that make you nervous. Okay. And then you have the Tree. Let's get your tarot cards down. Your first card is the Two of Swords in reverse. Then you have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. The Two of Wands. And one more as an advice card for you. And your advice card is the Empress in reverse. Okay. Give me just a second. I just want to take the cards in. I'm going to listen for some initial messages for you from Spirit, and then we'll talk about what's going on here. Before I do, real quick, I just want to mention that if you would like a personal reading, something that's just about you and your relationship or your situation, you can check my website, pink22tarot.com, and see what's available there. You'll also find a link down in the description box that will take you straight there as well. All right. Give me just a second. I'm just going to listen to some messages here and see what they want to tell you as we get started. Bear with me one sec, y'all. First thing they're telling me is that you are moving. Now, I don't know if that's a literal move as a physical moving or physically moving to a new place, or if it means something else. But so bear with me. I'm just going to keep listening, but I wanted to get that much out. They're saying your relationship is on the move. I do feel some of you may also be moving, and there may be a connection there with your person or to your relationship. But the shift that's happening with your relationship, they're telling me, is a move forward. It's a move that you do want. Because they're telling me you're feeling very for some of you, you're feeling very alone, or you're feeling off track in some way. It's like they're giving me this energy of you've been on a path, either alone or with your person, if you have a person. I'm sorry, tell me again. Yeah, you've been on a certain path that for some of you has taken you away from your person, has in some sense separated you from them. Not permanently, but for a length of time. That may not resonate with everybody, but it is a very strong message they're giving me. So I know many of you need to hear that to know that this is your reading. For others of you, it's not a physical distance. It's an emotional one where you have felt distant or detached from your person or from your, they're saying your love chakra. Your love chakra. Interesting. So for some of you, you're not in a relationship, they're saying. For some of you, you're not in a relationship, and it's because you've been feeling separated from your love chakra. And you've been moving down a path and healing down a path, and now you're coming full circle to a place where love is ready to blossom. That's beautiful. So one way or another, there is this sense of loneliness, of detachment, of feeling separated either from love in general or from your person, and a sense that you are ready now to reconnect, or you will be very soon, either with your person or with someone. Okay. All right. So your initial card here by the book. They're telling me that you have been gone for a while. Take that for what it means. It can be literally having moved away or traveled away for a while. It could be for some of you, you've been single for a while, or there's been some distance between you for some time here. They're telling me you're reaching the end of the the chapter is ending. This is what they're saying. The chapter is ending, but it's not just the chapter. You're reaching the end of this book. And you're ready now to pick up a new book, to follow a new path, to follow a new course. That doesn't mean a new person, unless, of course, you're single. And then I do feel that there is somebody in the wings for you. But for those of you who have been with someone but feeling detached, feeling distant, this is a time of reconnection for you. A new book, a new phase of your relationship. That's what's emerging. They're showing it to me coming out of the ground. So your Lenormand cards, you have the Tower and the Tree. The Tower in Lenormand is this sense of isolation. It's being alone or feeling alone. But that energy is shifting. It's shifting from the Tower energy to the Tree. The Tree is, they're saying it's a coming back home, literally or symbolically, a coming back home to yourself, reawakening your love chakra. For those of you who have been single, even some of you who are not single, your love chakra has been a little bit clouded, a little bit blocked. I know I'm calling it the love chakra because that's how they're saying it to me. I know it's really your heart chakra. For those of you who are chakra experts, which I am not. It's bringing in a time of reconnection, of stability and growth, and expansion. Just like a tree that blossoms and grows, its branches spread out, its leaves bloom. You're heading into that kind of time period. It's almost what they're showing to me is like a tree that has gone dormant, like in the wintertime, coming into its own again in the spring. The timing does not have to be winter and spring, although it can be. But that isn't what they're giving me. They're giving me that sense of growth, of expansion, of newness, a change in your relationship or your relationship status for the positive, All right, so your initial tarot card here is the Two of Swords in reverse. They're telling me your eyes are wide open. you've done the healing. You've been apart from your person or from a person for any, relationship for some of you for long enough that you're now starting to see what you want, what you need. You've done the work on you. You've experienced what you needed to experience. You've learned what you needed to learn. And now it's like the blindfold has come off and you're no longer waiting for answers. You're ready for the answers to become a reality. It's like you know what the answer is now. You know what you want. You're ready to put the swords down and accept what's coming your way. So your next card here is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. One sec, they're telling me something about this, so I want to listen. Bear with me. They're telling me this is the calm. This is a moment, this is a pause, like a moment of silence in between knowing what you want. You have gone down a path, you've worked on yourself, you've figured some things out for yourself. You've put the swords down, you've taken the blindfold off, you know what you want now. And then there's this pause in between where kind of nothing happens, or nothing happens. They're saying just allow that. Allow this moment of silence, in essence, this moment of stillness to achieve what it needs to achieve. I don't know what that is. They're not telling me what that is. I am asking. It's it's kind of like tying the bow on the gift. It's that final last step of, okay, here's the last step. Then you can move forward. The finishing touch, so to speak. So then we have the Two of Wands. This is when you make up your mind, you make your decision, an active decision. Here, it's a mental decision with the Two of Swords. It's a mental decision that you've already come to. With the Two of Wands, you're deciding what actions to take next. And I am, again, getting this message of reconnecting. So this may be reconnecting with somebody from your past, reconnecting with your love chakra, reconnecting with your person. If it has been either physically or emotionally distant in some way, it's a reconnection. It's knowing where you want to go, making that choice, making that decision, and then taking that action. So it is a pretty big shift here for you, group 3. Your advice from Spirit is the Empress reversed. Just listen, hold on. They're telling me you are ready for the birth of this child. So if you can see this card, I'll put it up right so you can get a better look. The Empress here is very pregnant, right? They're saying, in essence, you are ready to give birth to the next phase of your relationship. They're saying, allow the moment to fill you to where you know what you want to do and you're ready to take action. But then go for it. Go for it. You know what you want. You're heading into a time of figuring out, well, what does that mean? In essence, that stillness, that silence means, okay, I know what I want. Now what do I do to get there? What do I do next? You'll know what to do next soon enough. They're saying don't delay. There's no reason to wait any longer. It's time to move through it and give birth to this baby. Maybe some of you are actually having a baby. You can drop me a message down below if that's the case. But for others of you, it's just the birth of a new phase in your relationship. So enjoy it, allow it. Don't try to force it. Allow this moment of stillness to progress, to germinate, to become what it's supposed to be, so that you know what you want, but you're going to know, how do I get it? How do I get there? What do we do next? Then don't delay. Make your decision and go for it. All right, group 3, I hope that helps. I hope it gives you what you needed. I really appreciate your being here. If the reading resonated, please give it a thumbs up. Drop me a comment below, subscribe. Whatever you feel called to do, I'm grateful for it. It helps me know that our energies are connecting, that the reading resonated and was valuable. So thank you so much, y'all, and have a great day. Bye-bye.